I had no idea who was going to be playing my family when I got the job on Little House on the Prairie. I found out when I got to the set the very first day, and I got to work with Merlin Olsen and Hersha Parody, and they were amazing. Now, I was such an actor kid at that point. I had absolutely no idea who Merlin Olsen was. I know that's hard to believe, and I can't believe it myself now at this point. Obviously, he is a huge football star.
Merlin Olsen played in 15 seasons, made 14 Pro Bowls, and never missed a game.
And it was only a year or two after he stopped playing football that he was on Little House on the Prairie. But I loved Merlin. Merlin was one of the nicest, sweetest, gentlest, soft-spoken people you will have ever met. Because I was an actor kid, I noticed that Merlin was new at this type of thing. But I also noticed that he was getting really, really good at acting. Like I could see him learning his lines and doing these things, and he worked really hard at it. And one day he was going over these cards that he had, and I see him with these cards, and I thought that, he was going over his lines, and I thought, okay, cool, I'll help him out and, and go over his lines with him. I said, hey, you want to run your lines? And he goes, I'm not running lines. I go, well, what are you doing? He goes, oh, there's a football game on this weekend. You have to believe me because I'm an idiot that this is absolutely true. I thought that these cards were so that he could, when he watched the game, he understood what was happening. Because to me, football wasn't a mystery. I know, I'm an idiot. So he's got these cards, and I go, well, I'll help you out. And so on one side of the card was just a number. And then you flip the card over, and it was the guy's name and all of these stats, which I had no idea what they were. And so I would hold the number up towards Merlin, and Merlin would say, that's so-and-so, and here are his stats. And he'd memorized everything. And there were a lot of cards. And I'm like going, in my head going, this guy really loves football. So I would quiz him. And then this got to be like a regular thing that we would do during the week because on the weekends was football and he would go and watch his football games. What I didn't know, because I didn't pay any attention and because I wasn't a football guy, was he was watching the games, but he was there. He was announcing these games on NBC. And all the cards that I was going over with him, which I thought was just like a hobby of his, were his training for announcing the game so that when he saw a player on the field, he could see their number and he knew all of the stats. It was years later that I found this out. I couldn't get over that. I was quizzing him on all of this stuff so that he could be the announcer for NBC football. Once again, I'm a complete idiot, but I got to tell you now, I'm a huge Rams fan and I watch football all the time, and I can't believe that I was in the presence of greatness for so long and had no idea whatsoever.
They were not smart in this game, but he'll make some mistakes. He's a young man.